Obviously, we're excited to have the opportunity to add Derek Fisher to our team and our organization.
We're excited. I'm excited. The team's excited.
The situation here in Oklahoma City is just one that is special already.
When this kind of started to materialize, we felt like it was something that we had to pursue.
It's very clear that there's one common goal here, and that's to maximize the abilities of every player on the team.
Hello and welcome everyone to Thunder Insider, presented by Integris Health. I'm Kelly Krall alongside Thunder play-by-play man Brian Davis and 15-year NBA veteran Grant Long, coming to you from inside the Chesapeake Arena. Big news for the Thunder this week. They pick up free agent Derek Fisher, a guy who has 5 rings to his name and very wide open arms welcoming in Fisher. Right away we see Kendrick Perkins give him a hug in the locker room.
Well, one of the things I liked about that was, remember, those guys tried to beat each other's brains out for a couple of years in the NBA Finals, and when I pointed that out to Perk, he kind of like, yeah, right. He said, but I think we can get over it, and on we go. I guarantee you, every man in that locker room, even some of the guys who might sacrifice some of their playing time, Grant, are glad to have the 5-time NBA champion in their uniform.
Well, I think anytime you show up with 5 championship rings, you immediately command respect, and you get the listening ear to every player in that locker room, and I think that's where he's going to have a big pivotal role in this ball club.
There are so many things that Fisher can do, and I know, Kelly, will talk about it as we go along in the program, but everybody that I spoke to after Fisher was signed and made his first appearance in the room, everybody had something to say about him, about his skills, about his talents, about his personalities. Russell Westbrook, for instance, noticed his strength, and I said, well, you know, if you stay in the league for 16 years, maybe you'll get as big and strong as Fisher is. And Russell got this big grin on his face, like, yeah, maybe I'd like that, you know. So there's a lot of excitement around this, and literally a rising tide lifts all boats.
And we have the substitute, the newest member of your Oklahoma City Thunder. Listen to the crowd.
There were specific things that I was looking for that would be the right fit for who I am, and the right community, the right organization, the right players, the right coaches, and everything that I had observed from this particular team fit right into what I felt like was what I wanted to be attached to, what I wanted to be a part of. But one thing I've observed from a distance is that these guys on this team in this locker room appear to have a tremendous amount of respect for each other. And I think this team is about winning, and their willingness will be there. And we'll just try to work together the best we can to be the best team we possibly can be.
He'll have a quick learning curve here, as the Thunder is in the last third of the season, and we've seen just in the last week that teams are battling for their last spots in the postseason. And you know, it's not going to be a cakewalk, plain and simple. But the Thunder, they haven't stayed down long, even when they have fell short. They are now 11-1 following a loss.
Well, the other thing about the Thunder is that you look at the long-term trends, and you're right, we're not quite yet, Kelly, in the stretch run, but if you look at the trends, the Thunder is trending well. In 6 of their last 8 games, and we've been talking, all season long about ball movement. 6 of the last 8 games now, the Thunder has had 20 or more assists, and as the assists have gone up, the turnovers, save for a blip or 2, have started to go down. That's exactly where you want to be headed into the postseason.
I've been highly impressed with the way they've moved the basketball, as you mentioned, but moving the basketball is just a secondary part of it, because when you move the ball, you get high percentage shots, and you see shots in the lane being created by Russell Westbrook's drive. You see KD getting in the post-up situation. They're double teaming him in the low post. He's making the accurate passes. And when you do that, you have an opportunity to separate the defense. You have opportunities to get to the basket, get offensive rebounds. All of these things are happening because of good ball movement and good bodies moving, slashing to the basket.
Well, you know, another good note for the Thunder is that Thabo Sefolosha returned to the starting lineup this week. Thabo told me after sitting out a few games, one of the things he really wanted to bring back once he got back out on the floor was energy. He said, that's something I can bring night in and night out. It's not just about making shots. It can happen on the defensive end.
Steal Sefolosha. Durant will reward him.
He's really good for our team. He does so many little things defensively that helps us become better defensive team. He's a great rebounder. I mean, he hasn't really played a lot of minutes to really show that, but he's one of our best perimeter rebounders.
Sefolosha going to give it up to Westbrook for three.
Well, he's really solid defensively. It gives us another really good perimeter defender, our best perimeter defender. So it's a huge bonus for us. It allows Daquan to play with the second unit and gives us more scoring on the bench, and Daquan's done a great job.
Gay goes to work on Sefolosha, loses his dribble.
I think Thabo coming back, helps us get back on track. Moving him back into the starting line, hopefully, and then, our second unit can get back to where we were. Hopefully things will fall in play.
His length, he's 6'7", he has long arms, and he likes to defend. And those are great qualities in a defensive player, and he does everything we ask.
Sefolosha for three, yes sir!
And I love coaching him. Players love to be around him because he brings just good energy and good spirit about himself, about the game.
Knight blocked by Sefolosha.
I like the fact that Thunder's head coach Scott Brooks is capping Thabo's minutes right around 15 minutes, and that is good because he's going to have to get in and integrate himself back into the starting lineup slowly but surely. We know that this is going to be the end result, but you want to take your time. You don't want to flare up that injury that kept him sidelined for so long.
Kelly mentioned the word energy, and the thing is that I think in some ways Thabo may even be moving better than before he lost those couple of dozen games to the injury. The three-point shooting, he's been strong all season long. Since he's come back these three games, he's been absolutely lights out. And the other thing, too, there was a moment, Kelly, in the game at Utah, even though it turned into a loss, where Sefolosha, the veteran now, took it upon himself to switch out and go to defend Devin Harris, who had started the second half like a house of fire. And Thabo just made that call right there on the floor without the coach's input. He says, I got this. You want that kind of desire to go in and try to stop a run like Thabo did.
The defensive presence you knew he would bring back to the floor the second he stepped on it. But also, I think we're seeing offensively what he's already been able to do for that first unit is let them kind of get back into that rhythm they had going there at the very beginning of the season. And one telltale sign of that is ball movement.
Well, the good ball movement provides an opportunity for a guy like Sefolosha, who's a very good corner three-point shooter. He gets in there and holds up in that corner, continues to hold up the spacing. When you're moving the ball, as they have that trend lately, Thabo Sefolosha is going to be the recipient of those passes in the corner. He moves well without the ball. You'll see him slash and cut. He's one of the best slashers that gets to the basket.
Ahead on Thunder Insider.
Welcome to the season ticket member party. How are you?
It's fun. I think it's great the guys come out here and interact with the kids. And
welcome back to Thunder Insider.
We now welcome in the radio voice of Thunder basketball, Matt Pinto. We talked a little bit earlier about the acquisition of Derek Fisher. Now I want to pose to you guys the role and the benefit that he can provide to this Thunder team.
Well, Scott Brooks immediately made the proclamation that he is the backup to Russell Westbrook at the point. So I think that question was immediately resolved, and I think that Fish recognizes the opportunity he has to come in, contribute both on the court and off the court. And Grant, this is a guy that has an incredible pedigree. I mean, he's played more than 200 playoff games, more than 1,100 regular season games. So he literally has seen it all. I think that he can definitely contribute to everybody in that locker room in a different way.
Well, I think he's also one of those guys that can play both guard positions. He can play the shooting guard, very accurate from the outside, shoots the corner shot very well, and he can also run the ball club, run the offense from the point guard position. So it gives them some versatility when he comes in at that second unit. And I like the fact that between he and Harden handling the basketball, they're going to get to the basket and possibly produce some free throw opportunities.
A guy with that kind of experience knows when you step into a locker room, you embrace your role right away. And the one thing I heard from him that I thought was very interesting is he said, I'm not going to tell guys what to do, but I'm going to be here to offer up nuggets if they come to me. And I've been through the ups and downs, and like he said, I'm here for them, and I just want to help every guy on this team in whatever way I can.
He acknowledges, Kelly, he's a leader. He's been a leader through much of his career, and I think he has sort of those intangible qualities that a head coach or a team looks for, Grant, and there's no way around that. He's going to be willing to step in when it's called for, willing to speak whatever he needs to, a great communicator on the floor at both ends of the court. I think that's very much welcomed.
Well, he's been at the pinnacle of this sport, and he's played at that level for a long time, and he's been and seen every possible scenario you could see at a high-level basketball game. So that knowledge is what he brings to the ball game, what he brings to the locker room. And if you're a player on this ball club, you have to actually sit down with this young man and find out and pick his brain. And I think that's where to have a guy that has that much in his catalog of memory about basketball games, about the knowledge of basketball, how to win, how to do certain things in certain situations, clutch time situations. He has all of those in his catalog because he's been a part of those things. And winning at a high level for a consistent amount of time adds another dimension to this ball club that they didn't have prior to him getting here.
So Derek Fisher, the new addition for the Thunder, but we've seen mix-ups across the league this week, guys, specifically in San Antonio and Denver, both of them looking very different, as well as the Lakers. Just your thoughts on what's going on around the league.
Well, the move the Spurs made in bringing Stephen Jackson back is really significant because they got rid of a player that I don't think ever fit with Greg Popovich's scheme and system in Richard Jefferson. And Grant, to bring Jackson in, who understands what the Spurs are all about, contributed to a championship team there in 2003. He's long, he's athletic, he's willing to defend, and he is not shy in taking clutch shots. I think that's a big boost for the Spurs.
Well, I think when you look at that trade out to the field I think what they get in Stephen Jackson is a guy that's not going to just settle for the outshot. He's a very good outside shooter, but he won't just settle for that. He's not afraid to attack the basket. They needed somebody else to get some free throw opportunities. Manu Ginobili is a guy that gets there. Tony Parker drives the ball well to the basket. He'll get some free throw opportunities. But other than that, Richard Jefferson was a standstill jump shooter, and they needed more from him than that.
Now, the Nuggets on the flip side of the coin, I think, really hurt themselves chemistry-wise in dealing Nene for business, bringing in JaVale McGee. Now, McGee is an excellent shot blocker, but when you look at the injuries that club has had to endure this season in the shortened campaign, I think this is the kind of blow that really can do some damage to their psyche. I wonder if they'll even make the playoffs.
Well, it's going to be about how fast they recoup from this trade. And I think JaVale McGee, as you mentioned, a tremendous athlete in the way of blocking shots, but you take away a guy like Nene, whose presence in the lane, a perennial guy shooting a very high percentage in the field, blocks shots, runs the floor very well. You don't have to run a whole lot of offensive sets for him to be successful. You take away a guy like that out of that offense, it's going to be a big hole left there.
In the Lakers, Kelly, in adding Ramon Sessions, they add athleticism, they add the ability off the dribble to create shots for teammates and himself, something they sorely lacked. That'll make a big impact for them, I think, positively as well.
So if I get this right, Matt, you've given a thumbs up to the Lakers, a thumbs up to the San Antonio Spurs, but a thumbs down to Denver. Now, when the Thunder face them, though, how will that affect their matchups in the future?
I think from Denver's perspective, the Thunder have already seen that team without Nene, and it's a shell of what they can be, I believe. I think it really hurts them, again, from a chemistry perspective and their psyche, which is a big part of what goes on in the league. Grant, now, the Lakers, the Thunder have not yet seen, I think with Sessions creating off the dribble and providing athleticism and guarding the perimeter, I think that's a bigger challenge for the Thunder to deal with.
Well, I think Sessions is going to speed up the tempo of the ball game for the Lakers. I think he's going to take the ball out of Kobe Bryant's hands so much and perhaps get him the opportunities in the fourth quarter. Sessions is another guy, again, who can shoot the ball from the outside, not afraid to take upon himself to drive the ball hard to the basket and get to the free throw line. Another opportunity to generate offense, not from Kobe Bryant.
So some familiar faces, yet different uniforms, which will certainly provide an interesting stretch, to say the least, coming up. Now, one thing I also want to bring up, the Thunder have seen something a little different, but coming from more than one opponent, and that's a zone defense coming their way. How do you feel like they've handled it to this point, and what needs to get better?
I think for the most part they've handled it well, but there are different zones that can be thrown at you, and anytime a team has the high-octane athletes that this Thunder team does that loves to get out and run, Grant, it's not a surprise. A zone coming out of left field can suddenly stop you in your tracks. You begin thinking the game instead of just playing the game. I think we've seen that impact on some level, but this team, really to its credit and its youthfulness, has been able to handle it fairly well so far.
Well, I think the big thing that you just mentioned is how the opponent springs it on them. It's a surprise attack, so to speak, so you've got to be able to recognize it quickly, get that ball to the center of the floor and make the zone collapse, and then you find inside-outside play. You've got to have shooters on the outside to knock down those shots. And if you don't get caught up in trying to just beat it one-on-one, you're going to have success. It also will limit the times the Thunder can get into transition, because when you have a team that's trying to get back into a zone, they won't crash the offensive glass. They'll just get back and set up into that zone.
James Harden's playmaking ability and off the handle to create some things makes a big difference against a zone defense, given the complementary pieces around him.
Most recently, the Thunder saw it from the Clippers, and exactly what both of you two have said. Russell Westbrook attacked the basket, and then the bigs quickly got involved.
Ahead on Thunder Insider.
We are here tonight in support of relief efforts in Brazzaville, Republic of Congo, which is Serge Ibaka's hometown. We're actually doing a raffle and an auction tonight in support of relief efforts.
Hey, I'm James Harden, and you're watching Thunder Insider.
After a recent tragedy in Brazzaville, Congo, the hometown of Serge Ibaka, the Thunder Community Foundation, came together to help in the relief efforts. As you can imagine, support came from all over throughout the Thunder family.
We are here tonight in support of relief efforts in Brazzaville, Republic of Congo, which is Serge Ibaka's hometown. A couple weeks ago, there was an explosion at a munitions plant that was actually in the middle of town, leveled city blocks. Hundreds of people were killed, thousands of people were injured. So we're actually doing a raffle and an auction tonight in support of relief efforts, working through UNICEF to get the money where it needs to go.
I'm so happy, and I think that money will really help my home country.
I think it is always a great thing whenever athletes that have the spotlight like they do, to be able to be a support and a just example to our young folks.
Serge himself is supporting this by putting up a game-worn jersey from tonight's game and a meet and greet for the winner of that auction item.
We read this and we just thought, it's great. It's a great cause. It's a sad thing that happened over there, and we really wanted to help. And actually, this is his spring break, and so it was kind of a gift to him and a gift to Serge and his people. So I thought it was a great cause, and it's really worth it.
I know here, in Oklahoma, there's amazing people here, and for me, it's always, I've been talking, it's a great place to be.
Overall, the Thunder raised $16,000, all of which will be donated to UNICEF, who helps with on-ground relief efforts in the Congo. And one of the reasons the Thunder support is so big is because of events like this recent season ticket member event, where fans got the opportunity to meet and greet the players, a very rare but unique opportunity.
Welcome to the season ticket member party. How are you?
We've had season tickets since the beginning.
We're from Mangum. We're about 150 miles away from here, and we're season ticket members, and we wanted to come for the party.
I've become a really big fan of the Thunder. I don't miss a game.
It's my team right here.
They are so, they're so receptive. They are easy to talk to.
It's the least we can do. They come out and give us their gracious time every night to cheer for us. So, it's fun to come here and interact.
I think it's awesome. It's incredible that the kids get to be with the NBA players on the floor.
I love doing anything with kids, so as soon as they told me I could come down to the kids station, man, I was really excited about it.
Good job. I'm just out here having a good time with the kids, trying to enjoy myself out here, having a pretty good time doing it.
It's fun. I think it's great the guys come out here and interact with the kids. And
we're just blessed to be a part of a great community with such great people that enjoy the game of basketball the way they do. And it's an unbelievable place to play basketball in this arena. So, like I said, we're just very, very privileged to have the opportunity to play here.
My role is definitely the sixth man and coming off. Our starters is going to do their job, and my job is to come in and bring energy off the bench.
I'm pretty sure just like us, we appreciate it a lot, giving back and show how much we appreciate the community and how much we appreciate their support. So, we look forward to things like this.
Ahead on Thunder Insider.
Basketball fans know the Thunder is one of the toughest tickets in the NBA, but that doesn't mean you can't get a seat inside the arena. It may be a packed house, but there's a seat for you. The program called the Thunder Reward Zone.
Don't forget, Thunder fans, to take part in our Watch and Win contest this season. Not only do you have a chance to win tickets to an upcoming home game, but you are also automatically entered to win a trip to see the Thunder take on the Lakers in LA. Just visit thunder.nba.com and enter the code above, or text the code to 68278 for your chance to win. Thunder tickets are some of the hottest in town, and in this week's Stealin' the Mic, the Sports Animals Mike Steely shows you one of the best ways to get that last-minute seat here in the Chesapeake Arena on game nights.
A Thunder ticket is one of the hardest to get in the NBA, but the organization wanted to make sure that every fan had a chance to get in and see this team play. How do they do that? They do it with a great program called the Thunder Reward Zone.
We're outside here, outside the Chesapeake Energy Arena, where fans can line up to either purchase or win the last remaining tickets that we have for tonight's game. Loyalty counts with us, and so if you're out here, whether cold, rain, sunshine, it's beautiful outside today. We had over 200 people here today trying to get this ticket, and the first 75 were here within 15 minutes of us opening these doors.
It's awesome. Free tickets. You can't beat that.
Now, how many times have you been out here with the Reward Zone program?
5 times. I've won 3 times, so I've been pretty lucky.
Tina and Jenna, they won tonight. Celtics tickets. How's it feel?
It feels great. We're just excited about it.
My heart's beating too fast.
This spry young couple, Ron and Betty, they came out and you got wristbands. So you guys, the early bird doesn't get the worm, the early bird gets the wristband, right?
That's right.
Just shows how much Thunder cares about it, Oklahoma City.
Oh, I love it now. This is my second time. I haven't won yet, but I got a bracelet. I'm going in. It's my birthday today, so I'm having a good time.
I took off of work early so I could get down here. Hopefully my boss won't be mad at me. But hey, I'm a Thunder fan. I got to make it.
Wait a minute, guys, before you pack up. 31-39. 3-1-3-9. It's not a winner? It's not a winner. It's not a winner.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. I have this thing. It's a press pass. I think I can get in anyway. Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us here on Thunder Insider, presented by Integris Health. We'll see you again next week with plenty more on Thunder basketball.